There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Showing no respect for the grand old game. The Faribault Lakers had a game last night.
Yeah,
an All-Star game night.
I know.
Who in the hell? What idiot do you put in charge of scheduling that will schedule a town ball game on All-Star game night?
Well, the problem is we've had so many bleeping rainouts and snowouts.
Cancel them. Who cares?
I know. I would have been in favor of that because this is my first All-Star game I've missed in about 2 decades.
Who were we playing?
The hated New Prague Orioles, sir. The host of the 2018 state tournament.
Or your place?
At our place last night.
Did you beat them? You whop them?
We did. We won 6-0. They got a good club, though.
And you missed the All-Star game.
I know. How
much did you watch? You had to watch Bachelorette or something. Wasn't one of the Bachelor shows on last night?
No, not last night. What was on last night?
Oh, no, the home run. They was on opposite the Home Run Derby.
Yeah,
one of the
that's what it was.
One of the Bachelor shows.
The guy got the rose.
Okay. He got the rose. Rosie didn't get the rose.
Rosie didn't get
the rose, but...
I only saw a couple innings.
So it's hard for me to talk to you guys about this because... You know, last year, maybe a year before, they started talking to a player out on the field.
Yes.
A guy to have a little earpiece in. And they did it, maybe twice in a game?
Yeah, because Harper was one of them last year in Miami.
Harper did it. And maybe another guy did it. Last night, 30 times.
No.
Damn near everybody who came
Really?
out. No, I mean, not that often. But they did it at least 8, 9, 10 players. And poor Joe Buck has to try to... John Smoltz might as well have not even showed up. Because the whole half inning, Buck is talking with this inane conversation with one of the players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I think I saw part of that.
And he can't, they're not going to say, they're going to say, Trout's a really good player, and then, and he's not a
How's the club doing,
What insight are you going to gain by that?
Well, it's now Francisco Lindor was on, and he was entertaining. He's goofy, But they can't. It's sports. It's really America. You can't just let something rest and be good, right? You got to beat it bloody until it becomes boring.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what it did last night, to the point I had to turn the sound down. I couldn't stand it anymore
last year,
the questions are so... I mean, I don't blame Joe Buck. There's nothing to ask these guys.
Last year it worked because I remember the Harper conversation was great because Harper was telling Buck, ask Aikman about the Cowboys because he's a big Dallas Cowboys fan. So they were, which was kind of neat just to get a different.
They had Harper again, and they had Trout on, and he was okay. Trout was talking about how he likes to chase storms in the offseason.
Oh, really?
He's a storm chaser. But, of course, then the big controversy became Rob Manfred saying that we can't make Mike Trout a superstar in American sports, unless he's going to cooperate, unless he's going to get out there and then now everybody's ripping Manfred. Well, yeah, but Manfred is right. If Mike Trout wants to be kind of in the background, another guy, then he's going to be, right? I mean, that's the way it is. He's out there playing in L.A. super large market, but He's not out there. I get the impression he's not out selling cars and do and making all kinds of appearances. I don't know if he's got local ads out there or not, but it was anyway. Yeah, they beat that bloody. Outside of that, it was okay. 10 home runs.
We want to see some home runs.
I saw plenty of them.
And then what about the kids? Were there a lot of children running around after the game or before the? They always bring their kids out.
I don't know if they did. No,
there was a lot during the Derby.
We had 37 Medal of Honor winners, all the way from World War II to today for some guy from Afghanistan. So that took a while. But
I forgot it was on, and my wife said, "Oh, aren't you going to watch the All-Star game?"
Mm-hmm. It was pretty good.
The best part about it is the pregame. I think everybody introducing everybody, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, our guy Barrios comes in and damn near gave up a 2-run homer straight away center field, but it stayed in the ballpark. I thought it was gone when they hit it, but I didn't realize that Javier Baez, until I read it this morning, is engaged to Barrios' sister.
Really?
So they're big buddies. Yeah, and he faced him, so that was kind of fun.
Now I know they're both from the same area, but did they play together as youth? Because they're around the same age.
Yeah, they have to be. Barrios is 24 now.
Yeah,
23 or 4, and that's what Baez is. Yeah, they must have been.
Okay,
but they're. I didn't know that until I read that today. So. But he seemed to be enjoying himself.
So we can expect the Cubs to sign Barrios then in about 7 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Twins fans are very worried about that now, as a matter of fact. They're already.
Come on.
Judd, in fact, says we trade him. We should trade him before we lose him for nothing.
Capitalize while his value is high.
Yes, his value is as high as it's going to be right now.
God.
You got to trade him now. Now. Trade Barrios now while his value is up.
Imagine that Judd hitting the panic button.
Speaking of our guy, Judd, I think I mentioned this to you, but he was the topic of conversation in our dugout last night when a couple of guys said, we watched his videos. Is he really that unathletic? I said, I think it's not a bit.
That's why he's just writing.
Well, the basketball thing was. Maybe he's a skater, but I don't think he skates.
No, that's why he kept score, because he couldn't skate, he said.
Oh, okay.
But because he loved hockey, but he just can't skate.
Well, that's something. By the way, I flipped them on. I got started late to get down here today, so I was listening to the 12:30 to 1 segment.
You got started late, and they were still on.
They were still on the air. But they were, from what I could tell, they were talking about how they met their wives and girlfriends was the topic.
Okay.
And you know what that told me?
What?
4 hours is too long. Hashtag 4 hours is too long.
What did that stem from? Something that happened at a game?
I have no idea what. I think it was a question it wasn't part of questions, but I don't know what it was.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me of something I saw on Twitter, boys. You know how all of us on this radio station, I think, are all against the Jumbotron marriage proposal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I heard
we've gone to a new level now. Do you know what the new one is?
No.
Gender reveal on the Jumbotron.
Where's this at?
You're going to have a
Z.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
So, you've got
what kind of baby you're going to have?
Yeah, you've got mom, who's
mom's going to tell the hubby what the baby is.
Open up the package and out come the blue balloons or out come the pink balloons.
When did this happen?
I'll have to find it. It was on
supposedly
Twitter.
There was a game the other day where the girl gave the kiss cam. The girl gave a finger to the I can't remember the big league game or minor league game, but she gave a finger to the scoreboard.
Oh, you marry that girl.
No, yeah, that's right.
You married that
Yeah, that
girl.
was kiss cam. She wanted nothing to do with that guy. That's for sure.
Some people are a little more private.
Well, if that came out, if that happened at one stadium, Reavers, and it received a good reception, it'll be here next homestand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Because it was, Gordon Hayward, did you see that one on Twitter? The Boston Celtics player. The wife did the gender reveal. They have two beautiful little girls. I think they're both under the age of 8 or whatever. And she's like, congratulations, and more pink balloons. Kim is like, oh, all right, another girl. And then they're like, is Dad happy?
I'm so old out of it. I didn't know we have gender reveal.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to reveal yours or no? You're okay?
What is a Z, by the way?
I don't know. I
Because I
heard
saw
of it.
something about the.
At the U
I
of
just
M?
read this the other day. You're either a male, a female, or a Z.
It's whatever you identify with, and they're going to.
Yeah, but what if you don't know what a Z is? How do you know if you're misidentifying something?
or if you're running.
You're just not supposed to say anything when you greet somebody. Hey, how you doing, young lady? Don't say how. Yeah, I don't know what a Z is.
Or if you don't know where they are, you could say, "Where is Z?"
Well, it
Where is
was.
Z?
I thought there was a Q, which is questioning.
Yes, but I don't know.
Is a Z short for questioning, or
I don't know where the borderline is.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure
very
how
confusing?
It's very confusing, and I think professors are just going to say, "Human in the red shirt." Human in the red shirt.
Yeah, human. Yes.
Who are you calling a human?
Yes, yes. That could be confusing.
That's going to be. I mean, that's for how many people does that affect? Of the 51,000, it might be 20 people at the U. Are a Z.
Well, we got to take care of them. Okay,
right.
That's it. You know what they call me, don't you guys?
The fixer.
The fixer.
Mr. Sensitive.
The fixer.
Yeah.
The fixer has got it fixed.
All right, that's
For
cool.
the Q's and the Z's, okay?
All right.
I was just thinking of this.
boy.
It just occurred to me.
Okay.
You see, the one thing about the fixer is the answers come quickly, just like that. Snap
it
of the
just
finger.
happens.
So I was thinking about a photo I saw last night of A-Rod and J-Lo, a couple, a new couple,
Yeah.
walking into an area at the All-Star game. And A-Rod with the $5,000 suit that he always wears,
Right.
looking good.
Yeah, he gets
and
it.
J-Lo with an off-the-shoulder, kind of a long dress, but off-the-shoulder, tight-fitting, I'd say.
Yep.
So there's A-Rod and J-Lo.
Okay. I'm picturing them walking.
And
in the
now
room.
you're a Q. Right? You're a Q.
Okay.
And you're observing this photo.
Right.
Where did your eyes remain the longest?
Huh. Okay. You're
Now,
saying
did
that?
I say, oh, A-Rod looks good, and then I looked at J-Lo and I was still looking like 10 seconds later?
You
got
have
it figured out. I'm not saying this is the answer, but it gives you a hint.
you have declared.
Well,
have almost declared.
Almost declared.
Right.
Wherever you look, wherever your gaze stops and remains, A-Rod or J-Lo, that's a good hint.
After you've
where you're
cast
headed. I
your
think that's where
gaze-
you're. That's not necessarily the final result, but that's where you're headed.
Okay.
But what if you're admiring the fashion?
Well,
then
are you looking at her dress or are we looking at
Then I
J-Lo?
can't. No, we're looking at J-Lo.
Okay.
We're looking at the way
She moves.
the way the dress drapes.
Got it.
It's drape. That's good.
Yeah.
Drapes,
Yeah,
right?
drapes.
The fixer says drapes. yes.
Drapes.
Anyway, that's we try to help here. The
You're
fixer.
just saying that might be if you're
As a hint.
questioning, that might be a small
Yeah,
declaration,
yes, it is,
indication.
it is. Now, if you're conflicted, if you say, boy, he looks good, and boy, she looks good, then I can see why you're questioning.
Got it.
But if you're not, if you're really focused in on one or the other, then that's a pretty damn good hint.
I see a billboard campaign with you kind of going, hey, that face, and the fixer says, if you are, and then,
With arrows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The fixer says,
The fixer tries to come up with solutions. That's true, and is usually pretty
You're a
damn
problem
successful.
solver.
I am a problem solver.
have you had anything else that you've been fixing lately that you,
I haven't had much the last couple of weeks.
well, it's All-Star
I
Week.
fixed.
It's All-Star Week.
You know what I fixed?
What'd you fix?
The trip to Chicago. The fixer got on the train,
Uh-huh. Yep.
but the fixer fixed it. He flew home.
Yes, he did.
Cost him some money, but he flew home. He fixed it. He
Fixer
fixed-
says, once on the train is enough.
Yes. The fixer said, boy, this train takes a long time. I'm going to fix that. And I called the airport
That's
and get
what
a flight
the fixer
home.
does.
That's right.
He fixes the problem he gets himself into.
Yes, that's true. That is true. Speaking of the fixer, now the Donald today went back to saying Russia's not meddling, but then Sarah said, when he said no, He was answering a different question.
Oh, God.
Not two people were shouting at the same time. So, okay.
And so so they're doing their major backpedaling again.
My favorite tweet yesterday on the whole correcting what you'd said was Caleb Truax, the boxer we had on yesterday. But him on Twitter said, "Wife, did you go to the bar today?" Him, yes. Her, I told you not to go to the bar. Him, I misspoke. I didn't go to the bar.
I did
today.
not. Yeah.
I did not go to the bar today.
Did I leave out the no? Not. I did not.
There were a million of those jokes on Twitter yesterday about the.
I still will go back to, I want to meet the person that's buying every word of this.
Oh, yeah. That is, it would be fun.
No, stop raising your hand. Stop raising your hand.
Even I know, and this is not. Mm-hmm. And you can't go back and undo anything either. Even though
he can't. No, he's amazing. But this will blow over 3-4 days.
Of course it will.
It'll blow over.
Yeah, because he'll do something else that will make us go,
he's got the 40% that he can't do. He can do no wrong.
Right.
So that's a pretty good base to start with.
But I wonder, when does Melania, do you think when he goes, does she buy it hook, line, or does she just distance herself or throw her hands up and say
hates him. She hates him.
She hate him.
Yeah. She hates. He should get a football jersey that says "She hate me."
She hate me.
That's just my opinion. I'm not. The fixer can fix things, but he can't read people's minds.
Right.
Just what I see.
When a problem is presented, you fix it.
How about that old agitator, Queen Elizabeth? By the way, did you see that?
No.
The little brooch that she wore when she met the Donald and the bride.
What was it?
The Obamas gave it to her.
Oh.
Last time they
I
met
thought
her.
It said, "Mega, make England great again." It didn't. Okay, it was something else.
Yeah. That was one of his shining moments, too. He's got this 92-year-old matriarch walking over a lawn, and he's hauling ass by her, blocking her out, not waiting for her.
I don't have time for this.
Just come on. When are we going to get this over with? I got to go play golf in Scotland, damn it. Speaking of golf in Scotland, our friend Jerry Zagoda is over there at Carnoustie. When you're a single guy and you're covering the Timberwolves for a living, and you're getting a lot of travel,
a lot of miles built up, yeah.
You can do stuff in the off season. He was at Vegas for the Summer League. Now he's at Carnoustie watching him golf. We'll have him on about...
he's a big-time golfer.
On his own time?
Yeah. To go,
Wow.
But he's over there. He's a big golf fan.
He's not filing anything?
No. Wow. He's probably brought his clubs. He'll play a couple of Scottish golf courses over there. And he wants to see the British Open, so he's over there.
Good payback for having to follow the NBA all winter.
Well, it's, you know what makes it, it's not quite as bad as hockey because you're not going to get snowed in.
Snowed in.
But the traveling is, the hard part of those winter beats is when you're flying around in December, January, and February, and they decide to close the airports on you. That can be a pain in the ass, yes. But, yeah.
For you writers, it's not about the sport you're covering.
No.
It's about everything else.
Is the plane going to be on time?
Yes, it's funny.
The plane going to be on
That's
time?
hilarious.
Well,
man.
when I first covered the Twins, the first 4 years, we flew with the team. It was great.
I can't imagine that now.
Oh, to God, no, they'd throw you out the doors.
Right.
Does it still happen with the Vikings?
No, they threw it. I think maybe their broadcasters fly with them, but not the regular media.
And the lobster, he's got to fly.
Oh, yeah, not the people who might take an objective look at things. You're not going to let them on there. But if you're just kissing their ass constantly, then they'll let you fly.
You're in, buddy.
Yeah.
Hop on board.
All right. We'll be back.
Sports Talk will be back. Right now, we've got Bruce Vail with his second of two reports. That is the Your Money Now report, courtesy of Owatonna's own Federated Insurance. Good afternoon for the second time, sir.
Now, you see, when I used to cover teams, we judged them on the basis of how good the food was in the press room.
Well, that's true,
That
too.
was always the criteria for us.
That works too.
Mixed day today in the stock market. Almost a positive day across the board, but at the very last minute, the NASDAQ composite turned negative. But the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 79 points. The NASDAQ down less than 1. And the S&P 500 gained 6 points. Swiss drug maker Novartis said it will not increase its U.S. drug prices for the rest of this year. The announcement coming days after Pfizer took a similar step following criticism of its plan to raise prices again this year. Lawmakers are working on the biggest changes to U.S. retirement savings in more than a decade, exploring several proposals that could make it easier for small companies to offer 401k plans and for workers to guarantee themselves an annual income after they retire. The Wall Street Journal says among the proposals Congress may consider is the repeal of a provision that prevents people over age 70 and a half from making contributions to traditional IRAs. I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, Bruce, thank you very much. Welcome back. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Checking traffic here. This report sponsored by Indeed. And let's go up to East Bethel, where we have a very serious-looking wreck blocking northbound 65 at Viking Boulevard in East Bethel. Traffic stopping at Crosstown Boulevard. I'd say you should probably find an alternate. It's going to be a while up there to clear that crash out of the way. Are you hiring? With Indeed, you can post a job in minutes, set up screener questions, then zero in on qualified candidates in an online dashboard. Get started at Indeed.com/hire.
Johnny, I got a lot of mileage on Twitter yesterday about my tweet about being the only Spink Award finalist to have seen the greatest event in the history of Major League Baseball. When a drunk bartender, Artie Ruane, in the press room, decided at 2 a.m. to show Bill Mazeroski how to turn the double play. I got a little time out of that. Maz, of course, took Artie out with a slide across the rung, which, you can take a lot of stuff away from me. You can never take that away. That the memory of Artie getting knocked ass over drunk 70-year-old Artie with a stiff leg getting knocked over by a Hall of Famer who slides into him in a bar at 2:30 in the morning at the basement of Met Stadium. You can't take that away from me.
You couldn't turn a double play.
You Mazeroski, you overrated fraud. All right, Johnny Height.
It's cloudy and 80 degrees. American League, of course, with that win last night. Our twin, Jose Barrios, pitched an inning of scoreless ball. Twins back at it Friday. They'll open up a 10-game road trip to in Kansas City. After Kansas City, they head to Toronto and Boston before they come back home.
Johnny, did you know that he was going to be Javier Baez's brother-in-law?
I did not know that.
I saw that today in the LaBelle story.
Lynx in Indiana playing an afternoon game today.
We must have killed Indiana, didn't we?
Yep, Lynx came out with an easy win, 89 to 65.
Lynx basketball today.
How was that crowd?
All kinds of screaming little kids. Thousands of them.
I bet.
Today was screaming little kid day.
Perfect day for
They said that the referee at one time was at the free throw line holding her, plugging her ears because the high-pitched screams or something. Hey, Whalen got kicked in the head or something. Is she okay?
No, I didn't
By
see
one of the
that.
kids?
She banged heads and had to leave the game. So I don't know.
I did not see that.
Don't know how she is.
Minnesota United in action tonight. You'll hear it here. They're playing the New England Revolution at TCF Bank Stadium. Pre-match 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock on 1500 ESPN. News notes from today. The fallout from President Trump's much-maligned meeting with his Russian counterpart took a new twist today when the president appeared to contradict his intelligence chief by saying Moscow was no longer targeting the United States. However, later, the White House insisted Trump was, in fact, answering a different question and does believe that Russian efforts to interfere in American elections continues. Speaking during...
What was the other question? Do we know, Johnny?
Other question? Yeah, basically, he was saying, no, I won't take questions.
Oh, he won't take questions. So he wasn't saying no to the question. Okay.
Well, that's what they're saying. If you watch the tape, you may come to a different conclusion. Speaking during the cabinet meeting at the White House, Trump was asked by a reporter if Russia was still targeting the U.S. He looked directly at the reporter and responded, no.
What he was saying, it was a kickoff to saying, no, I'm not taking your question.
That's
Is that what they're trying to tell us? That's what Sarah's telling us.
That's what Sarah said, yeah.
I thought Sarah was gonna quit a couple weeks ago. That was a hot rumor.
She said she said she wasn't going to quit.
Yeah, she said that's right.
She said that wasn't true.
Okay.
She said nobody asked me, and I've never indicated I'm going to.
Okay.
So she's not going to quit.
She's not going to quit.
I can't wait to find out that this is all just a big scam and we're the one.
They're making a movie.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great.
A documentary.
As long as she's still on TV every day, I'll be happy.
Oh, yeah. And grumpy. You
Yes.
want her grouchy, too.
I like those furrowed brows. Looking at people like, you are the dumbest bastard I have ever met.
The best is I walked by Kenny one day and he just went, she frightens me.
I know, in a good way.
Just think how much guts it took to throw her out of a restaurant. Man,
Yeah, right. She could pick you up by the throat and go, I think I'm staying.
St. Paul fire officials are investigating a fire that's believed to have been caused by fireworks. A release from the fire department this afternoon said crews were called back in May to the 1200 block of Margaret Street on reports of an explosion and fire. When the firefighters got there, they located a brush fire in the alley. The fire then spread to both sides of the alley. Garage siding and 2 wooden privacy fences caught fire. The release said a security camera captured a person lighting and throwing illegal fireworks at the time. No suspects at this time, according to the fire department.
So we were upstairs watching a movie late Monday night, I think, 11:30, and with the windows open, and all of a sudden there was this gigantic boom, like somebody shot off but not a little fireworks, one of those old bomb type things, and then nothing happened after that.
The western states have stopped doing fireworks, and they're replacing them with hippie laser shows.
No.
Yeah, we were really looking forward to it in
Are they afraid of
Steamboat.
that drought or what?
Yeah, everything's so dry, so nobody's doing fireworks anymore. But you should have seen the hippies that the laser show was drawing. Oh my God! And it was in Colorado, so these hippies are very, very happy.
Now, I
hippies.
got to ask you about Colorado. Not that you would do this, but as an out-of-stater, can you just walk in and buy pot?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like buying cigarettes. It's like buying cigarettes.
Yeah, and it's no big deal in the state and the cities and the towns and the hotels. Everybody promotes it. It's in the guidebooks.
Okay.
All the dispensaries are in the guidebooks, but smoking it is passé. They're doing everything else. They're eating it. There's edibles, some gummy bears, lozenges.
Cops walk by and say, hey, where's your pot?
The e-cigarette thing, a big deal.
Somebody told me that
Vaping.
Denver's come up with quite the people just wandering around, the homeless problem that they didn't have before, people stumbling around.
On Denver's version of, say, what would be University Avenue, I spent a day in Denver with some extra time.
Gross.
We drove up and down that street where all the pot houses are just like cinder block
dispensaries.
Yeah, the dispensaries are just, they're really small and there's nothing fancy.
Rookie, you sound like a grandpa. Seriously, listening to you sound like, are you on the pot, young man?
Oh, they're on that wacky weed up and down the street.
So there's some people wandering up and down the street.
Yeah, it was, it looked like them reefer heads out there were smoking that
Reefer madness.
They
Reefer
were
madness.
It was very unpleasant.
Okay. Well,
Really?
Yeah. On that
God,
street in Denver.
You're such
No,
a
and I'm not a
redneck.
I was
don't care
looking
if
for
they're-
a good cheeseburger.
Why the hell would you go to Denver anyway?
I
mean,
wanted to try
seriously.
the Wendy's.
Oh, my God.
Now that makes sense.
And that elevation, I wanted
heard
to
they
see if it
really
tasted.
had good Wendy's there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The Reverend Frank Perkovich, the Catholic priest who gained fame by popularizing the polka mass, has died.
Oh, no.
Perkovich was born December 24th, 1928, in Chisholm and still resided there. He was ordained to the priesthood in 1954.
You know what, Pat?
He was 29 when he got ordained. He must not have turned right away when he was a high schooler or something.
Yeah, you're right. Well, he would have been 26.
Okay. That's
28.
That's about right.
26.
You know, we haven't
26.
had a polka for a Friday musical guest yet.
No.
We haven't done polka in a while.
You can't beat that communion song, though, huh?
Oh, I don't want her, you can have her. She's too fat for me. Hey, she's too fat for me.
I wonder how this song goes with the Me Too movement.
He celebrated his first polka mass May 5th, 1973 at the Resurrection Church in Eveleth, where he was pastor at the time. He said some folks close to him were a little dubious about the idea. In fact, he told 5 Eyewitness News, our TV affiliate, my mom begged me not to do it. It wasn't the first fusion with the liturgy of the music that Perkovich had grown up listening to, according to the, you want to visit this now, National Cleveland Style Polka Hall of Fame. Father George Belasco debuted the polka mass in Lowellville, Ohio in 1972. But Perkovich took it to a new level. He connected with a band led by fellow Iron Ranger Joe Schweck, and the group combined traditional melodies with religious lyrics, proved a popular combination, spawning an album, Songs and Hymns from the Polka Mass.
Wow. You know, all those years of Saturday morning sports talk, Rook, I think you'd agree with me. The highlight was the morning, speaking of Catholic mothers, the morning Mary Helen called Joe to pronounce to him that he was going to hell.
Yes, that he officially was going to. And I'm trying to think,
what was the subject matter?
We were making some jokes about the Holy Roman Church, and she got him during the break. Rook answered
on
the phone.
hotline.
I think she also, what upset her quite, I remember when, I don't remember whose first communion it was. I think it was McLaren's. And when I said, hey, you guys said, how did it go? I said, well, she was fine. And she got a little panicked when event was going to happen. And when, he said what he was going to say, she said, the Rook sent me. Instead of, amen. Mary Helen did not like that. She did not.
I know she hated my foul mouth. I heard from Joe on a number of occasions. Would you just shut up with that? My mom's driving me crazy.
The best thing was with Mary Helen was when Joe went to go see her at where she was living, and she wasn't answering the phone or the doorbell, and so somebody was going in, and they were going to let Joe in, and he said, yeah, my mom lives here. And the guy said, what apartment number? And he just goes, she's up there. She's up there somewhere.
She's up there, yeah.
Mary Helen also didn't believe in modern meteorology. Every time there was a thunderstorm coming, she'd call each one of the kids and tell them to run for cover.
It's coming. The big one is coming.
Like 2 years ago, she was doing that.
New analysis from the University of Pittsburgh has found a link between alcohol and perceived physical attractiveness. In other words, beer goggles are real.
No bleep.
Researchers looked at data from some 1,800 people.
Why do you think she married me?
Collected from 16 different studies. Participants rated the attractiveness of people in photographs. About half were drinking, the other half sober. The intoxicated group gave higher scores. The reason for the link, unknown. The study didn't try to figure out how alcohol affects the brain to make people appear more good-looking, but the researchers say there's a good chance the findings are related to human bonding. Previous research showed that humans prefer to be around attractive people. A pretty face stimulates our brain's reward centers. Studies have also found that alcohol helps people form connections with strangers.
You're a little bolder, huh?
John, did we really need an extensive survey?
I want to know how
all
much
of
they
these
got paid to do
answers?
this.
Yes.
Right.
Well, they're from the University of Pittsburgh, so they probably
A lot
got
of
a
ugly
little,
people in that town.
a little stipend, I would think, to go about looking at all this. Pitt psychologist Michael Sayette, the paper's senior author, specializes in substance abuse. He said this newly discovered link might have evolved to facilitate socialization.
What state was this?
Pennsylvania.
Can they take pot in Pennsylvania?
Take the pot.
They take the pot or not? Like
You
Denver?
gotta have
The pot, yeah. Can they take the pot?
That's kind of like my friend from Auburn, who shall go nameless, who weighed about 350, and he used to be in the bar and raising hell, and he'd go up to young ladies and he'd grab his belly and say, we call this Cinderella fat because at midnight it all turns
into. Well, it's already tucked in his underpants.
I don't know if it worked, but
he was going for the odds. One of these gals is going to go
I
for
would have paid to hear it.
Was he one of those guys that he could open up his zipper and his belly button flops out?
He was a big boy.
Speaking of attraction, in Australia, a man who had sex with a horse claimed it gave its consent by winking at it.
Secretariat, he winked at him.
31-year-old Daniel Raymond Webb Jackson was jailed for 10 months and fined $500 after he was caught when the trainer installed cameras in the stables. Webb Jackson is from New South Wales, Australia, pleaded not guilty.
Don't you need like a stepladder or something? How do you negotiate?
I don't know.
He's tried.
That's a wink.
So the guy knew something weird was going on. Did he put the cameras in there?
That's correct. The fella,
that horse had a look of shame.
The disheveled mane walking out to the stable.
That, he had a foal that looked very funny.
Part of the case, as you will see, is the horse did start acting differently. That's why the fella got nervous about his horse and put the cameras up. Well, Webb Jackson's the guy who was convicted. He pleaded not guilty. He told the court the filly had smelled his crotch and winked at him. Wow. The trainer and his staff had just installed the cameras in the stables as a security measure due to suspicions over disturbances the previous month. After the stable owners suspected a break-in during the evening in question, the police discovered Webb Jackson hiding in the stable. He was arrested after a brief struggle. The trainer
if it was consensual, why was he hiding? That's what I want to know.
The trainer for the horse, who'd been preparing it to race, said the animal was no longer the same after the experience in January. He said she's only a little 2-year-old. The filly went from being quiet to just being highly strung. She changed in 24 hours.
Yeah, that could happen.
In Pennsylvania, a Millersville man is being investigated for open lewdness after troopers were called to investigate a naked man walking down the road. 23-year-old Clayton Coleman was arrested at 2:29 a.m. on July 13th. Troopers got there and wanted to know why he was naked. Police report says he looked at them and said he was, quote, partying hard.
What's going on in Pennsylvania, John?
That's a good question.
They're today's China. That's where you usually get the stories from.
Daffy stuff in Pennsylvania.
Coleman taken into custody and transported to jail. 2 people walked away with minor injuries when a power drill flew into the windshield of a moving car and embedded in the glass. Wow. Happened in California. The East Contra Costa Fire Protection District posted photos to Facebook showing the battery-operated drill lodged in the windshield of the car. The district said the drill crashed into the car while it was driving in Discovery Bay. The 2 occupants of the car were treated for lacerations from the glass. Facebook post said the driver of the vehicle that dropped the tool didn't stop. They're looking to see where that tool came from to try.
I say it almost every day on Twitter, fellas, you got to get your strap on. Come on, man.
I know what makes me really nervous.
You heard me.
I was only half listening.
You heard me.
You know what? When you get the pickup truck with the guy that's got he's going somewhere to work, right? Yeah. But it's not a high buck operation. They got the wheelbarrow in there and all that stuff, and everything is just tied in there. I really go over 2 lanes when I see that, because something's going to happen.
That's a good move. And speaking of that, we actually this morning lost a wheelbarrow and a ladder. The wheelbarrow did not get hit, but somebody did run over the ladder. Yep.
Well, you're lucky it didn't go through the window.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're lucky it wasn't a motorcycle.
Yeah, because that'll kill a guy on a bike.
Yes. Exactly. Tell me what's happening. Well, this one's from Pennsylvania, too. What the heck?
Holy cow, John. What do you think we are?
Got all of it.
KDAL in Pittsburgh today?
You got all of it from one website, didn't you?
No, I didn't. This one is just a plain weird story. U.S. park ranger confronted a woman seen snatching birds at a historic square in Philadelphia and putting them alive in plastic bags. She told him she would release the birds after catching them. A video is posted to Instagram show the woman capturing what appeared to be sparrows as she and a man sat on a bench near Independence Hall.
You sure she's not feeding a snake or something at home?
The man appears to toss food to a cluster of birds as the woman leans down, grabs one, and puts it in the bag. Park Service spokeswoman Gina Gilliam said a ranger approached the couple over a complaint they were catching the birds. A ranger observed empty plastic bags, told the couple that trapping wildlife in the park is illegal. They were not arrested. The birds were set free, and they were both warned.
I think I'm with you, Kenny. They got a snake at home.
Yeah.
Or something.
By sparrows.
Yeah, sparrows, they're pretty small. Must be a small snake.
One go.
Must be a small serpent.
All right. Thanks, Johnny.
Yep.
What do you say? What do you say? What do you say for the ride, brah?
We got the great Buster Olney coming up at 5 o'clock, and Jerry Zagoda's over at Carnoustie, and we hope to talk to him at 4:40. I called him on a cell phone, came in clear from Scotland, so
Okay.
hopefully we don't get that. Like
Yeah, I think that was.
that was 2002. Cell phones have improved quite a bit since then. Yeah, cell phones are better than they used to be.
Yes, you were just in a dead spot. That was it.
I was right out in the front of the restaurant on a big old cell phone. And what was funny about that is when you could hear me, it was clear as a bell, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then it would
then
just
I go,
it would be like something that had refreshed or recycled, and bam, you went into the 100% this guy.
Is that the hardest Suture has ever laughed?
Yes, he. It was and then when he said that, I think the Twins might be only 5 games behind, and you. That was it was so perfect because everything was fine until that time, and then when you laugh like that,
everything. It was.
That was the old day, the old 440 call, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yep.
Which is be 1040 over there. So anyway.
All right.
We'll have Zagoda, and we'll have a good old show, and a lot to talk about for this. Usually the dead time of year, but it's not today.
The All-Star game is done. We're going to get back to normal here. Let's start playing ball.
Friday, not till Friday.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. It is a nice, cool 83 degrees, and the ride is next. So buck.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. It's crazy to think that a few weeks ago we were talking about whether or not Tua Tagovailoa should consider retiring. After 2 concussions and worldwide debates on player safety and NFL culpability, Tua has done nothing but go back to work and currently has the Dolphins riding a 3-game win streak and 1 loss behind the division favorite Buffalo Bills. While everyone was yapping about the end of his career, Tua Tagovailoa said he'll decide when it's time. And clearly, he's not ready to hang up the cleats. Hi, this is Chris Howard from the Plugged In with Chris Howard podcast. BetOnline.net is your number 1 source for betting football and the start of the new basketball season. Find all the latest player developments, team matchups, news, podcasts, and in-depth analysis on every game. BetOnline remains your continued source for all your sports wagering information with live betting, up-to-the-minute scores for the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite games and events, including the MLB playoffs, the start of the NHL season, MMA, boxing, and golf. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts.